Hey everybody, it is Jake from In Between the Lines, and I think it's time to start talking about the Detroit Pistons. Now, the Detroit Pistons currently sit with a record of 22-21. I believe at this time last year they were like 3-42, so quite a big improvement from last season. And I guess I just kind of wanted to talk about, what are some of the things that I've noticed this year, what's helping contribute to this massive turnaround. First and foremost, I think the biggest thing is they're playing quite a different level of defense than they played last year. The effort and intensity on defense, the consistency on defense is way up from times in the past. And if you really dig into it, that's kind of what JB Bickerstaff teams have always done. Everywhere he's been, the defense has improved from the time before. Even when he was an interim coach for a little bit, that the defense improved while he was the interim coach. And so it's just a reflection of what he's always done, and I think that's made a huge difference so far this year for the Detroit Pistons. I mean, they went from last year being one of the worst defensive rating teams in the whole NBA to this year being in that top third, and it shows based off the record and level of play. Jaden Ivey was having a fantastic year before he got injured. Really hated to see him go down. He really seemed like he had stepped up this year, and him and Cade Cunningham together were starting to develop into exactly what I had hoped they would develop into when he was first drafted. I think they have the potential to be one of the best backcourts in the NBA, and we are starting to see glimpses of that. So that ankle injury really, really hurt, but hopefully he comes back even stronger. Isaiah Stewart is putting up an excellent effort protecting the rim. I mean, his blocks are up, his energy is there. He's one of the league-leading leaders in rim protection this year. And he's that Detroit guy. I've said it in the past. He just brings that type of energy, that grit, that reminds you of the old bad boy Pistons and what I think everybody wants that Detroit persona to be. He embodies that. Cade Cunningham is turning into an all-star. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's getting to the rim. He's getting more assists. The spacing is good. I think we have better shooters, and he's finding them. Currently, he's third in the league in assists per game, with over 9 per game, trailing just Jokic and Trae Young. Like I said, he's having an all-star caliber season, and I think when it's all said and done, they're going to be talking about him as being all-NBA, maybe even getting some MVP votes. But the kid's game is absolutely special, and it's really, really starting to show, and I think this is what everybody hoped for and expected, and he's finally starting to deliver on that, and it's nice to see. Jaylen Duren, he's doing a better job of getting up and down the court. I'm hoping that his ankles hold up, but I got to admit, earlier in the season, he was a big disappointment for me. He wasn't stepping up like I thought that he would step up. He wasn't getting a lot of rebounds, stupid fouls, had a hard time staying in the game. But the last 10 to 15 games or so, he's really stepped that game up. He's being one of that young core that I'd hoped that he would be, playing good defensively, rebounding well, even starting to score. So he's stepping up, and I think that's a big contributing factor to how well they've played in the last 10 to 15 games. Tobias Harris, what can I say? He's still got game. You watch him, he was an excellent pickup. I was happy when they signed him. I knew that he was getting a little older and was probably towards the end of his career, but you would never guess it by watching him play. I think he's been that great veteran presence. Doesn't complain, goes out and does his job, but still hits big shots when they need him. Makes big plays when they need him. I think he's been absolutely fantastic and is showing everybody that he can still play. And I think he likes being here. Holland is absolutely the right person to have taken in this draft. He fits in fantastically. Excellent defense, high energy guy. Shows that he can score. Like I said, I think he was a great pickup. in what was considered to be a disappointing draft where we ended up having to pick, but I think he was the perfect fit and exactly what we need. JB Bickerstaff has been absolutely fantastic. His coaching decisions have made a huge impact this year, whether it's been his rotations, his defense, the times he utilizes the timeouts. Just such a marked improvement coaching-wise than what we've seen the last couple of years. And I'm a huge fan. I think his style is what's really set up and sparked this turnaround from the Pistons. Oar Thompson is an absolute athletic freak. The stuff that the kid can do is absolutely amazing. I think it's clear that he needs to get some minutes to help develop his rhythm on offense. But I think it's going to be there, and I love the kid. I think he's fantastic, and I think he can provide lots of trouble and issues for people all over the court. Fanachekio, Beasley, and Hardaway Jr. have been absolutely fantastic this first half of the season. All three of them are great rotational pieces. They've really stepped up, and quite frankly, management will have to think really, really long and hard before even considering trading one of those guys. Like I said, they've been absolutely fantastic. They've contributed in every game, big shots. Just like I said, they've been fantastic. And like I said, I don't want to see any of them get traded, even though their names are always mentioned. But I mean, Malik Beasley's been absolutely amazing. Hardaway's been fantastic. Has started games. Beasley started games. Fanachekio is a good shooter. Like I said, it'd be foolish to get rid of any of those guys. So those have all been great additions and pickups or keeps. Fanachekio was there last year, but love those guys. Reed, Moore, Sasser, Klintman. Those are all backups that the Pistons are absolutely fortunate to have. Like I said, they all come in and go out there, do their job, and are really good players. They're great players to have at the end of that bench to plug in and step up when they need to step up. So, I didn't really have super high expectations of the Pistons this year. I mean, every year at the beginning of the year, I'm excited. But I do remember earlier in the year they had that over-under 25 games, and I remember I picked the over. So I thought that they could get 30 wins. I thought that maybe they could flirt with being a play-in type team. But they far exceeded those expectations. I mean, they might get that 25 wins before the All-Star break. For the last several weeks, they've been riding anywhere from the 6th seed to the 9th seed pretty consistently. If the playoffs were to start today, they would be in. I mean, right now, I think today's date, they're the 9th seed, but they're only a half a game from being the 6th seed. They've beat some really good teams. They beat the Rockets yesterday. They beat the Knicks a couple times this year. They're beating high-caliber teams, and they're looking fun doing it. You even see some of the NBA guys, Charles Barkley, Kendrick Perkins, and all of them talking about how fun it is to watch the Detroit Pistons play, and I couldn't agree more. So I'm enjoying the turnaround. I'm anxious to see how far they can actually go, but it's clear to me that Trajan Langdon absolutely has made the right decision so far, and it appears that he knows what he's doing. So I'm excited to see what the Pistons can do. I'm excited to watch the Pistons, and quite frankly, it's been a long time since I've been excited for the Pistons, but here we go. So, hey, like I said, I think it's time to start talking about the Pistons, and I'm excited about what's coming on. Talk to you guys later.